So much easier to just say hi like this. Hi, Eddie. Hi, Huga. How you doing, sweetheart? Huga, I've missed you. Where have you been, darling? If you're anything like us, you've been busy outside in the garden and all that good stuff. Jeff just picked a ton of tobacco and he rubber banded the ends and he's hanging it down in the metal shed as we speak. Yeah, I've been sitting here just waiting. And so, oh, I said it's so much nicer just to be able to say hi to you guys like this. So, yeah, we've been having that problem too. Um, we've been having to use the water from our outside faucet. Hi, Annette. How you doing, darling? To water all of our plants. Well, our water that we drink, it has stuff in it that these plants don't like. It's got the fluoride. Ralph! Holy cow! Guys, it's Ralph. No, actually, Jeff is down in the metal shed hanging up some tobacco that he just harvested. So that's where he's at right now. But yeah, these plants, I mean, they take to our water because they have to. Hello. How are you doing, Ming Ming? But yeah, like as I said, the fluoride, and Jeff said there's some other chemical in our water that our bodies can handle, but plants don't like. And so, yeah, it's just what's really going to hurt. I don't know if Carlene, hello. Holy cow. How are you doing, hon? Well, hello to Canada. But it's been bad. You know, the title of this one is Prepping Isn't Just for the End of the World, and that's because it's not. Right now we're going through a major drought. Major drought. And so Jeff and I went and it's an expense, but we bought some lumber, treated lumber, and we bought a whole bunch of blue barrels. And we are literally putting them on all four corners of the house, stacked in two, connected together. And, it's just so we can have that extra water because it's bad. And so when it does rain, we will have that extra water, you know, be it to water the garden, water the little rabbits that I raise, I mean, water whatever we need to. Our hayfield, no. Jeff said that if we mow our hayfield, that we will be lucky to get 3 bales off of it. We had to sell 2 of our cows this past week. Um, so you guys will no longer see Lucy in my videos, and you guys will no longer see Finally in my videos. So, um, Lucy was hard because my granddaughter Avery named her, and so it was hard to see Lucy go just for that reason. But yeah. Hi Rick, how you doing, sweetheart? But yeah, I mean it's been bad. It has really been bad. And so yeah, I know, Carlene. It was just one of those things. Got to do what you got to do. As of right now, we don't have any hay stocked except for the 10 bales that my teddy bear standing at the door saying, "Hey, mommy, let me in." And of course, I've got to be the one to let him in because Jeff is down at the building hanging his tobacco. Come on, teddy bear. Oh, the sweet teddy bear. But yeah, so we had to sell two of our cows, and because of the hay shortage and the rain shortage, when the county mowed the side of the road, Jeff and I went and we raked it up, and with that square baler that you guys have seen in some of the videos that he made, we were able to make 10 square bales out of all of that. Mowing our yard has not worked this year because we haven't had the rain to grow our yard. And so our yard is just dried up. But I guess because of the sides of the roads haven't been mowed, they were able to grow up. And so we tried to let our yard grow up, but it was so thin and so scarce that it was. Jeff found a guy that lives by Thomas Hill Lake that has a field that they have not mowed down yet. And the guy said that he thinks when they mow it down that he's going to get approximately 40 bales, maybe a couple more. Jeff told the guy that we want it because it's a guy that he used to work with. And that guy is charging us $100 a bale. But Jeff had found two others on Facebook, which fell through because the guy just never showed up with them. But and we didn't pay for them beforehand. What? I have to see that Starburst. Yup. Who's coming out of that? I was hoping it was Dakota. But so you guys can watch me walk to the freeze-dried Starburst. Jan, it'll do us no good. Jeff said that if we mow ours, that we'd be lucky to get 3 bales because it's bad. It's that bad. On a good year, after we have fertilized our field and we've had some good rains and everything, we can get about 10 bales, sometimes 12. 3 bales, yeah, it's bad. You guys can see my lazy fat boy. This is Tanner. He's not doing too good. He's old, and yes, you old man, Jeff. These are the freeze-dried mini Starbursts that Jeff did. Hunter, nope. Yeah, stay out of the way of the camera because you're in your underwear. Okay. Well, just you get what you can. Okay. Okay. There you go. There's 2 hands. Now walk close to the table because I don't want them to see you in your underwear. Yeah. Okay. We're good. You're good. There you go. Sorry. You guys already know he has that weird sensory issue with his autism where he doesn't like to wear clothes. And so, for the most part, he runs around in his undies. So, I know you guys have probably gotten glimpses of him here and there. But in like the videos, when I videotape, I try to cut that part out or put a blur over it, But, yeah. So, but yeah, I don't even know who bought them, but I'm sure the auction house would have. But yeah, and the good thing is we didn't have to haul them off. It's because our neighbors, they are in the cattle business. He's got hundreds of head of cattle. We don't. Our max is like 10, 11. and I know he is a sweetheart. He's a good boy. But he just, he's special. He's got issues. It's kind of an autism thing. But hey, Rita, how are you doing? So yeah, that's one of the things we've done this last week to prepare is, because of this drought, every drop of rain we get right now is precious. And I'm going to warn you guys, the price of corn is going to skyrocket. And the reason why is because my cousin Greg, he doesn't live, too far from here, but he has got acres upon acres of corn out right now. And, he combines it, takes it in, blah, 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 right? Guys, his corn is tasseling out. There's no corn on it. When you drive by, you can see tassels, but you don't see ears of corn. So if my cousin Greg and all the other farmers around here, if their corn is all doing that, that means there's not going to be a lot of corn this year. Right. And so, that's I don't even know what to do on that. Except for maybe stock up now while you can. But the other thing that made me do today's title was because you guys have probably heard about the huge tornadoes that was right outside of Chicago. Chicago, guys. I'm sure it's happened before, but it's just, I just never think of, huge tornadoes hitting the big cities like that. I always see it hitting us smaller people, which there was some swirling the other night when we did have a storm, but we didn't get very much rain. But yeah, Rick, I think I deleted it in a way. I sent a picture to Zombie Prepper and KJ because in the morning, last evening, it was just a haze out there. Well, this morning when we got up, it was worse. And it wasn't fog. It was just this thicker haze. And I'm sitting there going, holy cow. And Jeff said that he looked at some type of a map and the smoke from Canada was coming down and it showed it clear going just kind of right across Missouri, but down into Arkansas. And I'm like, wow. And if it's that thick down here, can you imagine how thick it is up in the northern states? Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all of them up there. It's probably pretty darn thick up there. But so, yeah, the reason I brought up that tornado was because, that is something that can possibly affect all of us, whether it be a tornado or a hurricane, because, they're both spinny things. But those aren't the only things. There's flooding. But it's just, most people, when they say, oh, those preppers, they're just prepping for the end of the world. They're just crazy. Hi, Cindy. No, that's not what we all prep for. If you have a tornado go over, and if you've got a basement, you head to the basement. Your house collapses in on top of you. Okay? And it takes 3 or 4 days for people to get to you. You've had no water and no food in that entire time. So, what would be wrong with in the place that you plan on hiding when there's a tornado? What if you just put a thing of water or some granola bars or something like that? You know, seriously, what would be the harm in that? In the 3 or 4 days that it would take someone to dig you out, no problem, Eddie. At least you would have water and food, and your children would have water and food. Seriously, just one thing of water, you know, yeah, who could keep water in the car? Seriously, what if you're in our northern states and hello, quiet listener, how you doing? And you're driving and it's snowing and you go off the side of the road. Okay, you're not hurt. No one in the car is hurt. But because of it being a bad day, because of the roads being bad, it may take a while for somebody to find you off the side of the road. So, you'll want to first, as long as you're not in a whiteout blizzard to where you can't see what you're doing, you'd want to leave your car just to go into the back to make sure that the tailpipe is not covered in snow. Because as long as your car is running, you can stay warm. But if your tailpipe is covered in snow, all that carbon monoxide, dioxide stuff would be coming up into the car. And so you'd want to make sure you keep your hand on the car so you know where your car is at all times. But you'd want to dig out your tailpipe. I mean, way out. So you don't have that coming up into the car. And then you use the car to feel around until you get back to your driver's side door, get in. Yes, but water and a blanket, Eddie, you may not. Yours would more than likely be, a tornado or a hurricane, something like that down in Texas, maybe even flooding. You know, in Eddie's situation, if it's flooding, if he has to head to the attic, say it is coming in so fast, he has no way of getting outside to a boat. And the only way for him and Jamie to survive would be to head to the attic. In that case, you'd want to make sure that you have an axe or, a handsaw or some way of cutting through the roof to let people know that you're up there. You'd want to be able to cut through the roof, be able to get out, and have some way of, flagging down the helicopters and the planes flying over. So in Eddie's case, I would keep, a saw or, a axe or something and bottled water and granola bars because God only knows how long he'd be up there till he was found. But you'd want to make sure that you have some way of getting out because that would totally suck. Jason, I was so worried about you because I'm not for sure exactly. Night, Carlene, hugs, hun. But yeah, yeah, you okay? But yeah, I mean, that would be scary, because I mean, where Eddie's at, it can get pretty darn hot. And so, what? I don't know. I guess Josh doesn't know I exist anymore, or Mitchell for that matter. It's okay though. I got you guys. We're good. We're good. But anyway, Jason, I was so worried about you because I wasn't really sure exactly what part of Illinois you're in. And so when I heard about that huge tornado going through that, I was worried about you. I thought about texting you, but I was like, I was like, if that huge tornado did go through there, he's going to have so much more on his mind than talking to a YouTube friend. And so I didn't want to bother you. I knew that if you didn't come on today, that it would have been something, and I would have definitely called you today. But you're here, so I know you're safe. So, but man, but yeah, I mean, as I said, in okay. Oh wow, are you guys okay? Hand me down. Did you guys get any? Yeah. Yes, Ralph, definitely. But also think about your houses too, though, not just your vehicles. If it's major flooding and you don't have a raft or something that you can blow up really fast, or what if the water's coming in so fast you don't have time to blow up a raft? You have to head up. Well, what's up? Your attic. What's beyond that? An area that you normally can't get to. So you would want to make sure that you have, food and water and an axe, something like that up there. You know, um, Say you've got, instead of a basement, say you've got one of those cellars, you know, and it knocks a huge tree down above the cellar and you can't get out. Again, what if it takes 2 or 3 days for somebody to find you? No food, no water. What are you going to do? You're going to go hungry and you're going to get extremely thirsty, dehydrated. So you'll want to make sure that you have got, some bottled water, granola bars, something that's not going to go bad, you know, and, if you have to, I don't know, lock it up someplace that mice or something like that can't get to it, get one of those little lock boxes, just for granola bars, I mean, why not, right? But you can get lock boxes for pretty cheap. But you wouldn't want to use anything necessarily plastic because the mice and rats, they can chew through plastic. So, Huga, good idea. Good idea. We always have a flashlight just right up in. Hold on, I'm trying to find it. Right there, that cabinet. And it is literally, you open it and it's just right there inside the door. And so we can grab it if we got to. But yeah, having a keychain flashlight right beside the breaker box or in the breaker box, that is a great idea. List your home with the fire department. What do you mean, Jan? Oh, Huga. Okay, Jan. I wish that were true here. We put Irish Spring soap all over our camper and they ate it. Remember that?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and tornadoes and hurricanes, they're not the only thing. Flooding isn't the only thing. There's fires. You need to be able to, like what's going on in Canada right now, all those fires. You need to be able to prepare yourself for a fire too. If your house is on fire, then you're going to have to fall back. If you can't put it out, or God forbid, you live in a trailer out in the country and it's going to take 30 minutes for the fire department to get to you, your trailer's going to be gone. I mean, fully involved during that time. And so you would want to
Have something in the vehicle.
Okay, Jan, I did not know that. I just figured that, the counties individually would have, maps of where everybody's houses and everything are. But yeah, if, your house is fully involved, one, you'll want to have a copy of all important documents. Seriously. I mean, and it's no joke. You know, You're going to want to have a copy of your house insurance. Why? Because it just got blown up. You'll want to have a copy of, everything. Okay. But, you'll want to have a copy of your social security cards, copy of your driver's license. Because if you've got to get out, you have got to get out, which means you're not going to have time to grab a purse. You're not going to have time to grab your billfold that is down in the kitchen that's fully involved. You've got to get out that window, and you got to get out that window now. It's all gone. So have a copy of it in your vehicles. Because, hey, Canadian Family Life,
Video recording of all your
Jeff
possessions.
Jeff just said, a video recording of all your, possessions, everything that, is in your house. Take a video of it and upload it to a cloud. Because the cloud is there. Jeff said put it on a thumb drive and put it in your vehicle. So, okay, Rick. There you go, Jason. Yeah, Puga, your pets. In our instance, getting Tanner and Teddy out would be pretty fast because we could pick them up and throw them out the window. A broken leg can heal. Sorry, hate to be cold, but it's true. Peter and Visa, if it was our kitchen and living room area that was fully involved, Peter and Visa would be gone because Visa sleeps on a rug in front of the sink, and Peter is right there. And so, there would be no way for us to save them. And then my cat, Itty, she's in the basement. So that's her preferred spot. And so there would more than likely not be a way to save her either. But, and I hate to sound cold and vicious, but Visa and Itty are both 15 years old. They have lived a good life. They have lived an extremely spoiled life. And so, I would cry and I would miss them, but I also know that their days are literally numbered, and so, but okay, most of you guys know that I used to be a volunteer firefighter. One of my saddest moments was we were fighting a fire in Higbee, and it was a double wide trailer, an older double wide trailer. The family was at work, and they kept their dogs in the cages beside the back door. There was 2 cages, one stacked on the other. And one, we didn't know that. When we got there, the flames were shooting through the roof in the front of the house. And so we immediately started attacking the fire and everything coming through the front of the house, and all of that. One of our firefighters went around back, seen the glass doors, seen the cages, but it was already too late. They had died from the smoke. And so, yeah, that was kind of sad. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. We've actually, that has happened several times here in Missouri and in Columbia. It's happened twice within the last couple of years where a family had gotten into a wreck and they had their pet with them and their pet just took off. And so, there was constantly, not ads, but, asking people, have you seen this dog? If you have, we live in such and such. Hey, Kelly King, if you see this dog, please contact us. Whereas if that family would have somehow had their, name and address or something inside the dog's collar, or on a metal dog tag even, they could have been notified. Hello, the inquisitive farm wife. How are you doing, hon? Hi, Canadian family. I don't know if I said hi to you or not, but oh, Hooga. See, and I have heard good and bad things about like putting a sticker on your child's window to let the fire department know that there's a child in that room. Well, in the other aspect of that, you're also letting child predators know that you have a child in that room. So it's kind of like on that instance, you're danged if you do and you're danged if you don't. So I wouldn't know necessarily what to do in that situation. I mean, lucky for not lucky for us, let me tell you. But I guess in that sense, lucky for us, Hunter still sleeps with us. And so we wouldn't have to worry about that. But, there's a lot of families out there that would, so, but now make sure you have backup documents, copies of all backup documents in your car, just in case your house catches on fire, you have no way of grabbing anything, so you have all of those copies in your car, you know, um, put them in a lockbox if you have to, if you're afraid of, somebody breaking into your car and, getting that, information, hide it underneath your seat, something like that where it's not in plain view. If you've got a thing like we do in the Kia where it's got the thing that you lift up, hide it down there because then we've also got that plastic flap that goes over it, and so nobody would necessarily see that or think of that right offhand. I'm sure a mastermind criminal would, but yeah, yep. But I mean, we've covered tornadoes and hurricanes because those are kind of sort of semi. They're not the same thing because hurricanes bring in a lot of water, but we have covered flooding, semi sort of hurricanes, and tornadoes and fires. But the other thing, I never would have thought, the fires and stuff that are going on in Canada causing, a breathing issue. So, you'd want to make sure you had masks for that specific incident because, yes, it is affecting us here in Missouri. Don't get me wrong, it is. When we wake up in the mornings, we see the haze from the smoke. During the day, because of the sun, you don't notice it as much, but we know it's still there. But people that are up closer to those fires, as I said, Montana, North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, all of them, can you imagine the smoke up there? Yeah, yeah, you're not too far either, you know, but yeah, that's where I'd see those northern states definitely needing masks. And if it gets too worse, we'll need masks down here. Yep, Huga, definitely. We have got gallon jugs in our deep freeze downstairs. That way, if, you know, the power goes out for an extended period of time, you know, one the night that we were gone, we went to Jan and Steve's thing, Stanton Lake. We were there for the day, but we spent the night at our son Jeremiah's. I guess that night we had a bad storm go through here, which was, a lot of, hard winds and stuff like that. And it knocked out the power, according to Dakota, and the power was out for 3 or 4 hours, so, you'd want some way of, keeping, you know, say you're in an area that gets a lot of ice in the winter or could have a huge ice storm like our area. We don't have ice storms every year or all the time, but once in a blue moon, we get a horrible ice storm, knocks out power, and all of that. So you want to have some way of keeping the food cold and, so it doesn't, unthaw. But in an instance like that, what are you going to do for heat? You're going to want to have some way of keeping you and your family warm because if the ice storm knocks out power and you're on electric or gas with an electric ignition, you ain't going to have no heat. Yeah, Rebecca a while back had given us these baskets to use for collecting eggs. And so that's what he was doing, is he was going behind me to grab one of the baskets to go collect the eggs from the chicken. And so yeah, yep, Jason, you're right. You know, and another thing, I've seen the I haven't done it. I know, bad girl. But something about putting uh, how does that work? You fill a glass half full or something like that, and then you put that glass in the freezer and you freeze it. You take it out for just a second, put a penny on it, and then fill it up the rest of the way with water, put it back in the freezer and freeze it the rest of the way or something like that. And I guess something about as the water in the freezer unthaws and the penny starts to drop, it kind of gives you an idea of where your freezer is at as far as things unthawing and what would be good and what you need to throw away and stuff like that. That might be something you guys can, kind of do a little bit more um, research on the penny thing. We've got a big safe. We've got that huge gun safe that in the living room. And so we keep a very small amount of extra cash in there just in case, we need to tank of gas or something like that. So, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're in a serious drought right now. And so we have not started on the water tower, but we did buy some lumber and the barrels to do double barrels on all corners of the house. So that's going to be 8 barrels there. Well, then we got another downspout right here below the kitchen window, kind of to the side of the kitchen window. And so we went ahead and bought 2 more barrels to go there. So that's 10 barrels that, we would hope to fill. And we do want to get started on the water tower ASAP, but to be honest with you, our garden is almost had it. It's almost done. Um, I've managed to get. Let me turn this light on. I've managed to get some of the ground cherries picked. Few green tomato or green peppers, 3 jalapenos, ton of pepperoncinis. He picked 2 Romas today, but I got some, and I know a lot of people look down on buying stuff from Temu because they are a Chinese type company, but one, they're cheap and, desperate as far as garden wise, trying to save what we got out there. I did go on Temu and I bought some black netting stuff that provides shade. And so it to try to save our tomatoes because our tomatoes are not doing good this year. We got 2 Romas. We didn't plant cucumbers. Okay, hon. And we got zucchini rolling out our rear. We've been just giving it here and there and everywhere. All caches at the old house want to move. Realtor calls and says new homeowner wants us to get the remains out of the attic. We had an ammo can cache with rest in peace Spido on it. Oh my gosh. Wow, Huga. That's, yeah. But that's a good idea, though. I mean, seriously. See, we have a pet cemetery out there, and it is a real pet cemetery. I mean, actually, no joke. You know, I mean, that's where Bernie's buried. That's where Daisy's buried. That's where Molly's buried. That's where Roy's buried. And that's where Topaz is buried. Plus some unstoned animals. My daughter had a puppy that passed away. My granddaughter's gerbil or hamster or something like that's buried out there. But yeah, I mean, and that's where my willow tree was. That rest in peace willow tree developed some type of infection. I don't know if developed an infection, maybe because of it being in the center of a pet cemetery. I don't know, but no. Mm-mm. Nope. And that's the other one that I can't watch is Cujo. And that's because we had Bernie. And so, yeah, that would be bad. Exactly, Annette. I mean, because honestly, you never know. You know, I mean, pray to God and knock on wood that it never happens again. But my husband has already been through a house fire. Our personal friend Mark with Little Ridge Farm went through a house fire. So don't think it can't happen to you. I mean, we've had instances here that, you know, could have resulted in a house fire if we hadn't smelt plastic, if we hadn't, you know, noticed something was off. Ouch. You know, and so, I mean, yeah, you know, don't think it can't happen to you because it can. You know, every time a storm blows in, you know, I mean, I start getting a little worried, a little scared, you know, because, you know, Jeff and Dakota, they'll go out and they'll look straight up. And then they'll be like, oh, well, you see that swirl over there? You see that swirl over there? And I'm sitting there going, oh, dear God, don't let it come down. You know, in the past couple of years, we've had tornado sirens go off in our area twice. And so, yeah, you know, I mean, we got lucky, but we may not be so lucky next time, you know? So, yeah, Jason, you know, high end, high dollar things, yeah, it wouldn't hurt to do stuff like that, you know? I mean, because as I said, prepping isn't just for end of the world. Prepping is being prepared for the what ifs. You know, what if a tornado knocks my house down and me and the kids, you know, are stuck in the basement and the house is blown down on top of us? We live way out in BFE. It's going to take several days for people to get out here and dig us out. But what are we going to do for food and water in the meantime? You know, same with the hurricanes. You know, I mean, or the sad thing with hurricanes is, you know, hurricanes bring in lots of water, you know, so you would, it's just, yeah, I mean, it could be anything. A house fire, you want to make sure you have copies of all of your documents, you know, going off the road in a snowstorm. You want to make sure you have water. You want to make sure your tailpipe's clear. You want to make sure that, you know, you have a blanket in there because what if you're there and you run out of gas? You run out of gas, your car's not going to start. So we keep a wool blanket in the Kia. And so, and plus the Kia has heated seats. And so if the vehicle died by being out of gas, we would still have the electrical part of it until the battery died. So the heated seats would work until the battery died. But we could use the heated seats, cover up with the wool blankets, and, you know, that would help us last a little longer until somebody could find us. Very good, Jason. That is awesome. I like knowing that. Right. Yeah, that's another one I forgot about. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, the Mississippi River. the earthquakes. Those are no joke. You know, they've had earthquakes, like I guess minor earthquakes, like in Kansas or something like that, and people have felt them all the way over here, and I'm like, what? That Cape Girardeau, Missouri. I guess I don't know how many years ago it was because I was not alive during that time, but I guess that earthquake was so strong that it cracked the bell up in Massachusetts. I mean, and they're saying that could happen again. You know, Again, that's one of those what if situations. It's but you know the more common things that we would have to worry about would be, the tornadoes, the hurricanes, the house fires, the snowstorms, the ice storms, stuff like that. But, there are uncommon things. You know, there's a lot of uncommon things, like the smoke in coming down from Canada. That's, I mean, it happens, more often than, how do I want to word that? Okay, real quick, let me show you guys something. When I was talking to you about the what ifs, smelling plastic, it's not just smelling plastic, it's also keeping your ears open. You guys notice anything wrong with that? If I hadn't sat there and heard, just sitting here and heard some weird popping, that could have led to a house fire. And so it's not just a smell. It's paying attention. The sounds of your house. Okay? The smells of your house. So if you're hearing something that doesn't sound right, check it out. If you're smelling something that doesn't smell right, check it out. Yeah. How well I know, Jason. Right there, bud. Yeah. Hygge. That's a good thing to mention, is because for about 6 or 7 years, our roof wasn't insured. Because even though, because the insurance company was saying that our roof needed to be replaced. Well, we have that huge cottonwood tree right there. And every time there was a storm, I prayed. I prayed hard. Because if one of those huge limbs would have fell off that cottonwood tree and onto the house, that would have came out of our pocket, all of it, every single penny. And that is not something that we had the money for, and so luckily we were able to get our roof replaced, and our roof is now insured. So if something like that does happen, hopefully it'll be covered, knock on wood. You know how insurance companies are. Anyway, but yeah. That last one, thankfully, it only landed on the clothesline. See, that's why we had to spend almost $2,000 to have that huge Chinese elm tree cut down at the project house, was because unbeknownst to us, the entire tree was hollow. Even though it was still green in the spring, The entire tree was hollow. And the reason we had it taken down because that winter before we bought it, a huge branch came down and landed on the neighbor's fence. Luckily, we did not own it, so it could not have come back on us, but landed on the neighbor's fence and smashed his wooden fence. And so we were like, if that happened, then it could happen again. What if it lands on the metal shed behind the alley? There, right behind the tree was an alley. On the other side of the alley was somebody's garage, a metal garage. And so we were like, we'll just cut that down. Well, when they cut it down, it was hollow. I mean, literally all the way to the ground, it was hollow. And so, yeah. Yeah, you're right, Annette. You're right. You are very right. You want to, just before something happens, before anything happens, while your head is still able to process things, prepare. If you're going to be hiding in a cellar or your basement during a tornado, wherever you're going to be hiding, buy a case of water and something, to eat, granola bar, a snack mix, and put it there. Yes, make sure you have a will, or if you can't afford one, make sure your family knows your intentions. Make sure people possibly, in law enforcement or something like that, know your intentions. With us, Jeff and I being an older couple, Hunter being young, we have made it known to everyone, including DFS, because when we had our grandson here for a while, I even told a couple of the DFS workers, if something would happen to me and Jeff, we want Micah to get Hunter because I believe that she would have the patience to deal with his disabilities. And he loves her. He loves her to death. Plus, Micah, besides Jeremiah and Ashley, and Caitlin and Trenton, Micah is one in this area, and she's one of the more stable. And so he wouldn't necessarily have to leave, the area that he knows. And so, I made sure that, heck, this video is even proof of what, Jeff and I want to happen to Hunter. Because this is my voice and I am talking and I am saying if something happens to Jeff and I and not Hunter, Micah gets Hunter. So yeah, just stuff like that. And I've sent out I've had a Facebook group where I had it's not a group but a mass message of my children and my mom and my sister. And in it, I have put in it where I want certain things to go to. My emerald ring is going to my daughter, Caitlin. My wedding rings will be going to my granddaughter, Avery. But I want Caitlin to hold on to my wedding rings until Avery is of age, because I would hate for them to get pawned or hawked or something in desperation by one of her parents and her not be able to get that set. And so, yeah. But like my jewelry box upstairs, my first ex-husband got that for me. And so I would want Heather or Caitlin to have it. Hey, emotion. So even if it's not a legal will, write it down and put it with your important documents of what child you want to have what in case of an emergency. You know, um, the thing with Jeff and I is it's really hard because we have his, mine, ours, and theirs as far as children, even though they're all ours. Legally, they're his, mine, ours, and theirs. Okay, and so there are certain things that are on Jeff's side of the family that really need to stay with Jeff's side of the family, like his great grandmother's Bible that has everything written in it. Well, that needs to go to either Jeremiah, Micah, Hunter, maybe Trenton. In this instance, I wouldn't really know because blood wise, Jeff adopted Trenton. And so blood wise, that's not part of Trenton. Legal wise, it is. But see, like me, I was adopted in my 30s, then adult adoption. Okay. Blood wise, when I trace my family tree, I trace my Jacoby side because that's who I belong to. That's where my blood is from. But legal wise, I've also traced part of my adopted father's family. But yeah, just make sure you have your intentions and written down and put with important documents. Yes, Huga. Um, thanks, Jason. But yeah, Huga, exactly. I started up another account just a couple of days ago with one of many. Um, but this one is for my Etsy store. That way, all the money I make off my Etsy store can go into that account. That way, I can turn around and I can rebuy supplies with that money instead of having to use our money. Well, Jeff's name isn't on that account. So I put him down as a beneficiary on that account. So if something does happen to me, he can access and get that money. So, he's the beneficiary on that account. And so, yeah. No, Annette, it's not crazy at all because you're not prepping for just the end of the world. You're not prepping for just an SHTF. You're prepping for, you know, hurricane, flooding, tornado, fire, drought. You're prepping for everything, the what ifs, you know? So you're not crazy. But yes, Hugo, rotating stockpile is important. Okay. You know, if you have granola bars down in your hidey hole for a tornado and you don't have a tornado for 7 or 8 years, but then year 9, you go down there, those granola bars, they're not going to be very good. Not at all. And so just make sure you kind of pay attention to expiration dates of, when you put stuff down there. Mind you, granola bars, they would probably be good for 6 months, maybe even a year, depending on what they're made out of, after their expiration date. But, I mean, you go 3 or 4 years past their expiration date and you're down there year 9, that tornado hits and you're stuck down there for several days. I wouldn't want to be you having to eat those. Nope. You. So yeah, make sure you kind of, pay attention and, rotate stuff. That's one thing that Jeff and I did not do is rotate a lot of our stuff when we first started doing stuff. And so we would go down. When we went through our stuff one time, we had brown ketchup. Remember that? Needless to say, we didn't keep that. So yeah, make sure if you do have some food in your car for like if you run off the road in a snowstorm, make sure you kind of pay attention to it, and especially since heats can fluctuate, in the car, make sure it's something that can handle the temperature fluctuations also. And if you do bottled water, open it up and drink it down just a hair, because like overnight, those bottles of water, you're going to leave them in your vehicle. Well, your vehicle is going to be left outside and it's going to get down into freezing temps. Those bottles of water are going to freeze.
Not those bottles of water. Like, these are made to expand when they freeze.
Okay, yeah. Some of the bottles of water out there are made to expand when they freeze. But what if you get a hold of one that isn't? So right. That's true, Hugo. Yes. Right here. That's a good one too, Hugo. That is definitely a good one. If you're off the side of the road in a snowstorm and you've got your 6-year-old and he's hungry and he's thirsty. Oh, okay. Eddie, if you're in here, there's Joshy Poo. Eddie was asking me where you was. But yeah, if you're off the side of the road and a snowstorm and it's going to take a couple of days for you to be found because the weather is that bad, if you've got some bottled water in there that, you can melt by sitting on, or God forbid, putting it between your legs, whatever, at least there's something, snacks, whatever. At least there's something that, your kids can have. Well, he was asking where he was just a little bit ago. He asked where Joshy Poo was. And I said, I was like, I don't know. I said, I think Josh has forgotten about me. I was joking, but yeah, I think Mitchell's forgotten about us. Yeah. Annette, yeah.
You always get home bag and get blankets.
Yep.
Water,
Blankets, water, food, a shovel, to dig out your tailpipe if you go off the road,
flashlight.
jumper cables, flashlight. Jeff is like reading off a list behind me. Yeah. You don't want to go so overboard that you can no longer fit anything else into the back of your vehicle. You're still going to be able to have a spot for groceries when you go grocery shopping, but just a backpack, with some items in it, and a blanket or wool blanket, quilt, something like that, But yeah, just literally just the things that have happened, the last few days, all the smoke from Canada, knowing that that's a fire, and the tornadoes that Illinois went through just a couple of nights ago. I can't even imagine what those families are feeling right now. I don't want to imagine what those families are feeling right now. The drought we're going through here. Happened to sell some of our cows, and not knowing how we're going to feed the rest of them through the winter if that hay deal that Jeff has made up to falls through. You know, that was kind of our last line of defense. If that deal falls through,
Like our last one.
yeah, like the last one, we're not going to have a way of feeding our cows. We literally are not. Those 10 square bales, that's not going to last. That's 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 maybe not even a week's worth. Not for, the cows that we have out there right now. And those cows are pregnant. And those cows are going to be eating hay come winter. Not very much, because they'll just be calves, but I mean, they'll still be eating it, and so, I mean, that is kind of the SHTF that we are going through right now is the drought and not being able to feed our cows this winter, wondering where that's going to come from. Okay, Annette, you have a good day, honey. Love you. Exactly, Annette. Exactly. But yeah, I mean, that's just, as I said, it's just that stuff is what made me want to talk about this stuff tonight, is because of everything that we're all going on. What Jeff and I are having to do, but knowing that that's not going to be enough, it's too late. Yeah, it'll collect, once we get them fully set up. He got the stands built, but, we still have to get them fully set up. But it's not enough. Not now. Our hay field is pretty much burnt up. There's, if we mow it now, we'll be lucky to get 3 bales. The 18. I don't know what that is, but there's something crawling up those windows. It looks big, but it's just a shadow of something. But anyway, yeah. So yeah, I know this live is depressing, which according to a certain somebody, I won't even mention him, but that's the reason why nobody watches my channel in a way is because I'm boring. So oh well. But it's just we all need to think about stuff like this. This isn't just for, if Russia nukes America or, stuff like that. This is for the stuff that happens over here every single day to people. House fires, tornadoes, I know hurricanes don't happen every single day, but they happen more often than not, right? And so, people would want to be prepared that live in those states also, and so I want you guys just to realize that it can happen to you.
What happens if you have another pandemic?
Yeah, Jeff said, what if there's another pandemic?
They start locking things down.
And they start locking things down.
What are you going to do?
What are we going to do? I mean, I always knew it was possible, but it's kind of one of those things that I never really thought would happen during my lifetime. Did you guys? Did you really think that we would all be locked down because of a pandemic in your lifetime? I never thought it would happen. And it happened. And so now I'm sitting here going, wow, when could that happen again? What if this bird flu stuff hits people? Are another lockdown? I mean, I don't even know. It's just the what ifs, So, yeah, I mean, make sure you've got some toilet paper, because last time people were selling rolls of toilet paper on eBay and Amazon for like $100 a roll.
I know a guy that paid, it was like a package, regular package, you spend like $13 on it. He paid $65 for it on eBay.
Jeff said, "Hey, corn-fed, how you guys doing?" Really?
My boss paid $65 for a package of toilet paper online.
Really?
And yes, he paid it. Not Stacy, but Big Bowl.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, Jeff's big boss paid $65 for a regular package of toilet paper online during the pandemic.
Everybody was out around, you could find them.
You know, and so he said everybody was out and he couldn't find any, so he paid $65. You know, and it's just like, holy cow. Let's see who we got. We got Peter. Hi, baby. And Des. Hi, sweetheart. Exactly, corn-fed. Since you're up there you're in Nebraska, aren't you? Or are you Kansas? Corn-fed. I thought you were Nebraska, but I might be wrong. Some of the ingredients I do. Not all. Some of the I am expanding my herb garden, and so next year, hopefully the herb garden will be done. I will get all that planted, and so the following year I will have more ingredients for the teas that I make. But I do buy some of the ingredients, you know, especially for my candy bar tea, how it's got the chocolate nibs in it. I can't grow chocolate here. You know, I can't grow coconut here. And so the chocolate and the coconut, I do buy, you know, like the chocolate nibs, you know, I do buy organic. And, you know, the coconut, I buy organic, you know, and stuff like that. So, but yeah, okay. Corn-fed, are you guys seeing a lot of the haze and stuff from the Canada fires? I know we are, but I don't know how wide. Jeff is the one that looked at the map. I didn't get a chance to look at it, so I didn't know. I didn't know if you guys are seeing a lot of the haze and stuff from those fires or not.
It's not too bad today.
Oh wow, awesome. That is awesome, hon. I appreciate that. The only thing about the candy bar tea is this first batch called for sea salt. So I went by the recipe that I found online and I put some sea salt in it. No, not next time. I made it kind of salty, and I don't like salty tea. And so next time when I make it, I am omitting the salt. But in awesome. My favorite tea, if you want me to be honest, is the honey vanilla chai. That one is really good. And then the sweet nights is also really good because it's got a natural sweetness to it, you know, because it's made with naturally sweet herbs, you know, like the chamomile, you know, stuff like that. And so it's kind of got a natural sweetness to it. But my favorite has got to be the honey vanilla chai. I really like that one. But yeah, for those of you that are in here that, you know, it's just there's still others in here that have been in here the whole time. And so I don't necessarily, corn-fed wants to know what you're making for dinner tonight.
Breakfast.
He's making a breakfast supper. So
Pancakes, bacon, eggs.
He's making pancakes, breakfast, and pancakes, bacon, and eggs. So yeah, I will have to eat light and drink a shake because I can kind of wait gaining my weight back, and I'm not sure why, but yeah. So I need to start being really careful what I eat again. Yeah. Yeah, but the zucchini wasn't.
They were nummy.
They were good, yes, but yeah, yes, we do too. We do too. It's just we've got with our chickens, we've got so many eggs. I mean, it is unreal. And so we have breakfast suppers a lot just because we've got a lot of
Is
eggs.
Rebecca in there?
Rebecca was. I don't know if she is now or not.
We gotta get her.
But yeah,
I gotta get her.
yeah. But oh, Rebecca spoiled us, guys. I mean, no joke. She had a Blackstone that didn't have a starter button or something.
Yeah.
Okay. He drank. He, he swallowed. He swallowed his water wrong. You okay? God, I do that all the time
The
with
big dog
coffee.
went down the wrong way.
Yeah, I do that a lot with coffee. But anyway, she gave us a Blackstone that the igniter was out of, and so um, he bought a igniter and fixed it, and then spray painted it, and the darn thing looks brand spanking new. I mean, he scrubbed the rust off of it, and he oiled the top and seasoned it, and I mean, it looks brand new. It looks beautiful, and we had to just pay for the igniter and the spray paint. And yeah, Rebecca gave it to us for free. She just wanted eggs. So we have to just pay her in eggs. Cornfez said, don't inhale the pancakes. Make sure you chew them.
Well, that's the second time I've done that in the last 30 minutes. Learn how to drink.
Honey, at your age, you should know how to drink by now. See, I don't watch soccer. Uh, when Trenton was little, he was in soccer. And so, I was really big into his soccer at that point in time. And then when I had my foreign exchange students, Alberto and I can't even remember the other kid, but we would go and watch their soccer games. And so, I was really big into soccer then, but just because of the kids. So, Yellow Jackets, what? Rick, are those the ones in your garden?
Well, next time we go,
You be careful. Yellow Jackets. Oh, and if you guys watched my last video, I talked to Sammy Godwin on the phone. And those big white cocoon things, he said were wax moth cocoons. But they're all dead. They have been sitting for like ever. And so that's what that is. And he told me, and I told you guys that I was going to boil them, and he told me no. He said, do not do that. He said for me to freeze them because he said that if those frames and stuff are made with, any type of a glue or anything, that boiling them could cause the frames and stuff to fall apart. And so he told me to freeze them for like, several weeks, and that would okay, you have fun. Bye, hun. But real quick, if you guys are not subscribed to Cornfed, they're so fun to watch, and they do. It's almost like a news broadcast, and I absolutely love it. And so, if you guys are not subscribed to Cornfed, make sure you subscribe to them because they are awesome people. But darn it, brain fart. I don't even remember what I was saying before that. Bees freezing, don't boil. Okay, yeah. Okay, back on track. So yeah, that's what those big white cocoons are. They're wax moths. Scrape it all off and then freeze. Don't boil because he said the frames will fall apart. And so he said that he's been doing honey and honeybees for about 5 years. And so he would probably know what he's talking about. And he also said that if we have any ants in our area, that we need to put the frames up on some type of a stand and put the legs of the stand in water to keep the ants off out of the hives.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Sammy.
Who said that?
Godwin.
Oh, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a good idea because they're not going to cross that water.
Nope.
Good idea.
So, and we do have ants in our area. So that might be something we might want to think about doing. But I am going to go ahead and get off of here. Okay. For those of you that came in later and are curious about what we talked about, make sure you rewind and watch this from the beginning because there was a lot of good info and a lot of good info in chat. I already talked to him, honey.
I see. Yeah.
I need to make sure that the chat is saved on this one. So I need to go in and edit.
Mommy's boy, aren't you? Hey, mommy's boy.
Make sure that chat is saved on this one because I want to make sure
Stay down.
a lot of the info that Huga and Annette and everybody else posted is absolutely saved, 100% saved. A lot of the stuff that Jeff and I prep for is geared more towards, SHTF, but we, also are geared for, if there is an ice storm that knocks out our power for a while, then we've got stuff to fall back on. We do have a wool blanket and some bottled water in the vehicle. So if we would happen to go off the road in winter, then we can, be prepared for that. Customization, live chat replay, both of them are checked. Okay, I'm good. So, yes, yep. And he said that if I needed any help with, anything else, that I have got his number and to give him a call. And so I'm sure he will probably hear from me a lot. Does he do text messaging? Oh, I guess he does, because he had me send him that video, or the link to that video of the white cocoons. So yeah, he seemed like it. He seemed like a really nice guy. Okay, Huga. Yeah, I seen the E pop up on my phone. If I had my volume up, you guys would have heard a ching, because that's the sound that it makes. But yeah. Oh, you're fine. Let's see what you're doing. Oh, here comes your boy. Huga. Wow. That is awesome. Yeah, she'll like that. Whoever it is you bought that for will love that because it's got a little bit of everything. Do you want to see one? I can run up and grab one real quick, just in case the pictures didn't do it justice. But yeah, I mean, it's got all those samples in it. And I have showed you guys the little tea thing before, but yeah, I'm absolutely in love with that darn thing. Absolutely in love with that darn thing. Okay. I don't know. He went outside. I'll be right back. It won't be that second. I've got a sample box that I keep up here. Lisa, my old girl. Okay, I'm here. Uploading a video from the griddle battle. Oh, awesome. Did you hear me telling you guys that we were given a free Blackstone? Okay, whenever we go to the craft shows, this is sample box that I have that sits on the table. I have got an ingredients list glued to the inside, and I always just kind of, bend this to where, everybody can kind of read it. But it's got all the ingredients and everything to it, and it's got samples of the Sweet Night that I told you is one of my favorites. It's got a sample of the Sunrise Tea, which is also a really good one. And then it also has the sample of the candy bar. But this one right now, I think it's too salty for me. Some people might like it. I don't know. And then the Flower Garden. And then my other favorite, the honey vanilla chai. Oh, it is so good. That's Jeff's favorite. And then the Mindful Mornings. And then Peppermint Patty. Oh, that's another one that's really good. Yeah, Rebecca. Rebecca gave us yes. Yep. Josh Skinner. Skinner Farms. But we also have since we don't have our bees going yet, we do have local beekeepers. And so we bought some honey and we filled and made these honey sticks ourselves. And so we did this. Okay, my love. Just, oh, Josh. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he is so precious. Hmm. Oh, Josh. That is awesome. Okay, the other thing that I put in here is I promise this isn't crack. Okay. It's a Belgium rock sugar. Oh, hold on. I gotta look. Belgian sugar candy is what this is, and it's from Belgium. And then this is also, I love these little wooden spoons. They're adorable. My favorite item is the teapot infuser. That is my absolute favorite item. That thing is so cute. But yeah, I mean, all of that comes in here in the sample. And of course, I decorate it. It's got, some cute scrunchy stuff on the bottom and, that I keep in here just for, it's not, yeah, it's packaging material, but I only use this packaging material for these boxes. I don't use them for anything else. My other packaging material is completely different. So, but yeah, and then but yeah, this is the one that I always just use for my craft shows. That way, because I have the other boxes sealed This is also, it'll have that on there, but then it has a pink sticker right here that is what seals the box closed. And so then all they have to do is cut that little sticker and then they can open them. So let's see. Let me show you guys. What was she doing in this one?
Mama. Mama.
She was arguing with mommy. She won't say mama. I have been trying to get her to say mama. And every time you tell her, say mama, she goes, dad, dad. It's like, no, not dad, dad. Say mama. Dad, dad. No. It's like she's arguing with you. But yeah, she was bouncing there. Try to find that one where she was laughing. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's Trenton being a ding dong in the backyard with some. Oh, I miss her so much, guys. I only wish I had the money to go down there and see them. I mean, she's just. I mean, she's dancing. Oh, that kid. I love her. Oh my gosh. That's when she was going after the ice cream cone. Maybe the laughing one is from Trenton. Oh, nope, that's ice cream cone too. Mm-hmm. Oh, this is pretty much how I see my granddaughter is through video. I hate that, but it is what it is. You know, he's in the military, which we are all very proud of him for that. But Josh, hold on. I'll send you this one. Oh my God, it is just. She is amazing. Okay, send Joshy this picture. Yeah, that's one on the Trenton just sent me a day or two ago, actually. He sent it to me Thursday. So, see, Eddie, Joshy Poo decided to join us, and Jeff, Josh says hi.
Hey, Josh.
They woke up the other morning and she had one of her diaper clips undone.
Your granddaughter's a fucking pervert. I just got out of the shower and she's sitting here waiting.
Yeah. Trenton, he doesn't understand some things. Yeah, he doesn't have a filter.
Right, Junior.
Oh, Rocky and his slime. Stop singing. Will you stop? My phone's being weird. I don't know if the videos are bogging it down or what is, but it's like locked up right now. What is this thing doing? I was trying to find the one of her laughing, but Mitchell had a work call. Yeah. How is Mitchell? Is he doing okay? Haven't seen him in forever. I don't know. It's been weird. I think the last time I talked to Mitchell was he was getting on a plane to California or something like that, and I didn't even talk to him. It was just text message. So yeah. Huga called you Desi Poo. I was trying to find that one of her laughing, but maybe that wasn't a video. Maybe that was just one of me when I was on the phone video with them or something. I don't know, but the dogs, she absolutely loves the dogs for some reason. The dogs sit there and just make her cackle. Huh. Yeah, I know, Josh, right? But yeah, I sent you that picture of her, Josh. She just, oh, she is darling. I think it was this video, but the sound's not playing. I don't know. Yeah. I cannot believe. Yeah, my little grandbaby's like 10 months old now. She's getting so big. I miss her. I miss her so much. We're still thinking about coming to Kentucky, Josh, just so you know. It's just depending on the money situation, we may have to sleep in the Kia. Which, as long as we don't bring a whole bunch of stuff with us, the seats in the Kia do fold down, and then we can sleep back there. It just depends on the money situation. I just wish we were able to leave from Kentucky and go to North Carolina again, but I know that's probably not gonna happen. But I just miss my baby. And Caitlin, I don't know, she's getting married, I think, next year. And so we need to put any money aside that we can to make sure we can make it to her wedding. Otherwise, she'll wring our necks. So, but I am going to go ahead and get off of here. One, because I've got an Etsy order, but I've got to get ready. So, actually, I've got two, because I've got one. The label is sitting here on the desktop that I've got to print. The box is ready to ship. I just got to get the label printed. But today was Sunday, mailed it and go out today in a way. So I figured I could get label printed tonight and get it mailed out tomorrow. And so, so everybody have a good night. And if anybody talks to Mitchell, tell him that we said hi. You know, I mean, so, but love and hugs to all. Stay curious, stay kind, and stay subscribed. Love you guys. Jeff says bye.
Who?
You.
Yes. Bye. Bye-bye. Ciao, ciao.